Alright, man, what's going on, everybody? I want to go ahead and give my breakdown on the Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. fight. This is Specimen Boxing. I'm glad you're tuning in. These are probably some of the most anticipated fights that we've had this year. This is going to be a hell of a card, and for the Riyadh season, these boys are in Saudi Arabia. This is going to be crazy, right? They're calling it the Night of Champions, the Ring 4, the Night of Champions. So this is so tough. Firstly, I want to give a shout out to both fighters. I think it's amazing that, two father-son duos can come together to do business that look like, what I'm saying, and, have this type of event and create a generational payday for not only themselves but their families. I think that is just amazing. That's crazy. And, it is literally like a dream, for people to be able to do something like this. So firstly, I want to shout out both guys, both fathers, both families, both teams, all the way around for coming together to do business, because at the end of the day, it's business first, and then you come in there and handle business in the ring. So a big shout out to that. So let's get into the meat and the potatoes. All right. Brian Norman Jr., 23 years old, currently the 147 pound champion. I'm not sure what belt he has. Is it WBC? I'm really not sure. But he's coming into this fight very hungry. This is what people would consider his Super Bowl. You're fighting the biggest named fighter that you have fought, in your career up until this point. So I think he's coming into this fight in excellent shape. I've seen some of the training videos. I'm like, they're talking about Devin in great shape. Brian Norman Jr. is in dog shape. I mean, I don't think he's ever really looked like this. You know what I mean? So I know he's ready. And he's done, some good interviews, I would say, some great media that definitely has been passed down from his dad, because his dad can talk as well, but they are alike in that way. Brian Norman Jr. very well spoken, man. As a young man, it seems like he has a very good head on his shoulders. He knows who he is as a young man, has an identity and a personality about himself. So that is great to see, just from a, person to person, human to human basis. That is refreshing in the sport of boxing. I can definitely say that. And it has made people more eager to see him fight. It's made people more eager to, follow his career. He's definitely gained some fans, and, the fight hasn't even happened yet. So that is big, I would say, for him. And not to mention that boy from the ATL, Dirty South, Georgia. You can hear it in his, his tone. It's not a lot of fighters from Atlanta, Georgia. It's just not. So this is big. He putting on right now. So with that being said, Brian Norman Jr. is going to have the performance of a lifetime to beat Devin Haney. And that's just the bottom line. So however the fight goes, if it's decision, I do believe Brian Norman Jr. can win a decision. And I'm saying that because this recently just popped into my mind earlier this week. I don't know if you guys remember the Armando Resendiz fight versus Caleb Plant. And the approach Armando Resendiz had to that fight in his game plan, he was very patient in the beginning of that fight, almost knowing that he would eventually catch Caleb Plant and begin to break him down. And he did. Armando Resendiz had his hand raised, at the end of the fight. It did go all 12 rounds, but Resendiz got the decision. So I feel like Brian Norman Jr. could fight a similar fight and get a decision. Some people believe he can only get the knockout and win. I don't believe that. I think at this point, Brian Norman Jr. has amped up his skill set. He has taken his mentality to another level. He's not the fighter that we've seen 2 years ago that, got dropped. You know what I mean? He's not the fighter that went into the ring that looked lost or, didn't have a for sure game plan. I don't think he's going to come into this fight in that way. So obviously, it could go in a knockout for him because he got them things right here. You feel me? Like he was saying, I got no thing, them Brit. He got that for sure. So the fight can go that way as well, but you're going to have to catch Devin. So speaking on the behalf of Devin, he keeps saying there's levels and there is a tremendous experience factor to this fight, and I couldn't agree more, because to me, that is a separator in the fight. It's not just I've been in bigger events than you, it's I've completed my process more times than you. Does that make sense? I've done a training camp. I've done my eating regimens. I've done my pre-fight regimen more than you. I've cut weight more several times. I've been to the depths of my mind, really breaking my body down more times. So I have just this inner callous of, I've done this, bro. This is not new to me at all. However this goes, right? I'm ready. And in this vein, it's a little bit, you know what I'm saying, extra something to the fire, because I didn't look good in my last performance. In my last 2 performances, I didn't look good, right? Y'all trying to take elite status away from me. So I got to come back and show y'all, like, I'm really one of them guys. You feel me? So that's the added motivation, you know, for Devin Haney, because for someone that has had some success, for some guy that has made money, right? And I'm not a pocket watcher, but, you know, it's out there. It's like, what is there to do? But you got to be somewhat crazy in the head to, you know, first fight anyway, you know what I mean? But to want to prove again that, hey, I'm really young. Don't take this away from me, because I'm finna show y'all anyway. You ain't gonna better take it away from me. So, the game plan. So that's one aspect of it, you know, for Devin Haney, is the experience. And in Devin's corner as well, he now have Mickey Bey. To me, that was a great added piece to Devin's camp, because Mickey Bey comes from the same school of boxing. And that school of boxing can be looked at as like a Harvard or Yale. They both trained under Floyd Mayweather Sr. and it was in that Mayweather boxing gym. You know what I'm saying? So I know the knowledge and everything that was passed down was just next level. You feel me? Brian Norman Jr. school of boxing, he probably started more on like a JUCO level. You know what I'm saying? Had the raw talent, had the athleticism, but had to really work his way up. He had to transfer into a Duke. You feel me? He had to transfer into, you know, a Kansas University after getting the stoppage, you know, in the Santillan fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he looked really good in that fight. You know what I'm saying? Now he's at the big leagues. You feel me? So I think, and going back to Devin with Mickey Bey, he has trained Devin before. And if you go back to like that Linares fight, I want to say Mickey Bey was around for Jojo Diaz as well. The offensive creativity that Devin was showing during those fights, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just a jab, you know what I'm saying? Devin would come around with the lead hook, you know what I mean? He'd throw the lead right hand, you know what I'm saying? Get in there with an uppercut, wow. That creativity, I feel like we're going to see more of that this particular fight. And I'm expecting Devin to stand there a little bit more. I don't expect all that movement. In my opinion, the game plan would be to mix it up. We're going to move a little bit, but you're not going to beat Brian Norman Jr. moving all around the ring. I just don't see that being possible. He's going to have to stand there at times and really throw combinations, 2s, 3s, 4s, sometimes 5s to really, you know what I'm saying, wake Brian Norman Jr. up and let him know that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to beat me, you're going to have to take this shit. You feel me? So, with that being said, bro, my pick is going to go to Devin Haney. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think that because Devin is just a true scientist in the sport of boxing, and when I say that, as soon as I said that, the thing that immediately came to my mind is when it was before the Regis Prograis fight, maybe the night before the fight. I'm sure the clip is still on the internet. And he got into the ring, right? He was doing his little movements, kind of, you know, working himself around the ring. But he stood in the middle of the ring and he was backing up. And he was counting his steps to see how many steps it took for him for his back to be on the ropes. And he did that a few times. He pivoted, did it again. Pivoted and did it again. And seeing that, I'm like, oh man, this guy is really like analytical in every movement and the scenarios that he expects to be in inside the ring. Like, he's really visualizing it. You know what I'm saying? So I had never seen that before. I ain't saying a fighter has never done that, but I had never seen that before. So I'm expecting him to take that same technical approach to even another level, right? Because that's what it's going to take for him to beat Brian Norman Jr. I said Brian Norman Jr. is going to have a performance of his lifetime to beat Devin Haney. Devin Haney, same thing. You're going to have a performance of a lifetime to beat Brian Norman Jr. You're going up in weight. It's a bigger, stronger guy. Your chin is in question. It's a lot to be answered. You know what I'm saying? So I got Devin Haney by decision. I think he mixes it up. He boxes some. I think he stands there some. And he becomes a Rubik's Cube puzzle for Brian Norman Jr. to really figure out. I don't think Brian Norman Jr. has the team and the setup to really figure it out on a level. Like his dad, I haven't heard the type of boxing instruction from his dad, and this is no knock to his dad. I respect, once again, both Brian Norman Jr. and his dad, but I just haven't heard the instruction from the corner that can really consistently guide the fighter, you know, through each and every round, no matter what is happening, you know, inside the fight. So I think Mickey Bay gives Devin Haney the edge. So, like I said, my pick, Devin Haney. The fight is this Saturday. We'll see how it goes. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. This is my first time doing a breakdown like this, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm going to try to do some more. Keep doing what y'all do. I love y'all. Keep pushing.